Welcome to Hot Women Wanted.
We're three childhood best friends who have been through it all and talk about it all.
Everything from hot flashes to hot takes to hot topics. So come join us.
Episode 21.
20
Legal now. 21.
21.
And then there were two. We finally got Cole out of here.
She really isn't in menopause, so.
She's not in menopause. Just kidding, just kidding. I am Julie Strauss Greeley. I am joined by my fellow hottie, Meredith Young. We are actually missing Julie Cola today, and we definitely
Really
miss her.
missing.
We're missing our third wheel, our third bestie. But, you know, as we've said, is she really in the club?
I don't think so.
With her regular periods and getting a pimple. I mean, come on. No way.
No, but we do miss her. We do miss her.
We do miss her. Oh my God. We're like
She's-
missing a limb. She's like the anchor of the podcast for sure.
Exactly. We had to do our own Google sheet this time.
I know. We had to do our own notes. We had to do our own Google sheet. Julie like organizes us. She gets us up to speed on what's in the hot off the press. She does it all. So honestly, it is really tough. We're gonna struggle too. Mary and I were struggling, of course, with some tech issues, which we realized was really just a volume issue.
I literally had to call my daughter and be like,
I can't hear.
sound isn't working. My sound, like, FaceTime me. She's like, have you hit the volume? I'm like, oh, I didn't.
No, she was like, did you see the button on the right-hand side? You're like, the one with the line through it? I'm like, I don't think that's the volume. I think that's the mute. Try the other button. So honestly, we are struggling with our cola. We are struggling with our tech issues. But anyway, how are you feeling? I don't know about you. Is it hot yet in Texas?
Today's a chilly day, but it's getting hot. We're getting there.
As you can see, I am fully wearing a winter sweater. It is back to freezing in New York.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I am an absolute grouch about it because the temperature's really throwing me off. And that's really tough when you're in menopause. You're hot, you're cold, you're this, you're that.
Yeah.
Never comfortable.
I spoke to somebody else in New York today and they said it was like 40 degrees and raining.
No, it is back to, like, if you said to me Christmas is next week, I'd believe you. Like, I was looking out my window like, could it snow today? It might.
And look at you, Jules, a stripe of a different nature today.
I know. I'm such a stripe girl.
Such a stripe girl.
And I gotta say, let's all be honest, not super flattering, the horizontal stripes.
I'll tell you, Norman Rush, my father, looked at me one day in my favorite striped shirt, and he was like, "Don't wear stripes again." This should be
and yet, I persist. I keep throwing them on video as like 2 tons of fun in the video screen. But yeah, anyway, I never met a stripe I didn't like. You're exactly right.
You love stripes.
All right, so let's get into our show. What's up first? We're doing a hot flashback?
I'm going to do a hot flashback. And since Cola isn't here, I feel like I can really go to town on you today.
Of course.
I'm feeling like this is what I need to do today. So let's flash all the way back to 4th grade.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And
Grade wasn't easy for me. I'm just going to say, let's all remember that you were all together in Miss Abraham's class.
that's true.
And I got isolated with
That's
Miss, who was it? Miss Kin? Somebody very strict and very mean. I'm just qualifying. Go ahead.
We had Miss Abraham, and that was a pretty fabulous
Miss
class.
Abraham
We had
was the
everybody.
coolest. And it was the coolest teacher to have. And you guys were in like, I think if it was like the equivalent of like a star-studded 4th grade class. And I was with all the losers.
Yes,
Who shall not be named.
yes, we had a great class. So it was a Saturday night, and maybe I hadn't hit my popular years yet. Like I wasn't like the belle of the ball at that stage. And so it was Saturday night. My phone rings, ding-a-ling-a-ling on the kitchen wall. I lifted it up.
Landline.
And it's Julie Strauss, and she's like, "Hey, Mary, do you want to come over for a sleepover?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yes!" So I go. My mom drops me off. I go. I come for the sleepover. We're having fun. I don't even remember the sleepover. I just remember being on your pull-out. You had the trundle.
A trundle, yes.
Trundle. And I was laying on the trundle next to it. I was like all cozy in my little bed next to you. And you were like, I was like, thank you so much for inviting me to sleep over. This is so nice. And you're like, well, you were like the 10th person I called.
Always a truth teller.
I was like, ouch. My fourth grade heart was ouch.
I can't believe I would say that. That doesn't even. I mean, I am a truth teller, but like,
You are a truth teller, and that probably was the truth. You probably went through all the popular girls, and then you were like, your mom, because our moms were friendly.
our mom, yeah,
Mom was probably like, call Mary Ross.
yes, totally. And you know what else? I mean, I got to be honest. I'm right there with you, gal, because what does it say about me if I had to make 9 phone calls and nobody else wanted to sleep over? So you and I were destined to be friends because we were on the same level, girl.
Oh, did my mom the next day make me come over? I don't remember that part.
No, that was, I think, connected. Wasn't that like a birthday party connection? And then you were like, I'm not going to her birthday party. You were upset with me. And then your mother's like, well,
oh, you wanted me to tell a different story.
no, this is a good one. But then that was another one. And you were like, and your mom, you're like, I'm not going to her birthday party. Your mother's like, well, we're dropping off a gift. And you like rang my bell. It was so awkward. Talk about like awkward 10-year-old moments. You're like, here's your birthday gift. I'm like, thank you. And your mom was standing behind you. It was like, it was a little tricky. I mean, kudos to our moms because they were friendly.
Yeah.
And they were in the same social group. And like you and I went in and out for a number of years until we were like fully all in. Like, oh my God, where have you been all my life?
Exactly.
Yeah, it is so funny. Oh, that's a good one. That's a very, very good one.
Okay. So I roasted Julie, so I'm feeling really good.
I'm in the hot seat always. Apparently, no wonder I'm always in the hot seat on this podcast. It is my comfortable spot. Clearly. And you know what I say to the public? You know what I say to our listeners? That's what happens when you're a truth teller. What can I say?
That's right. You are a truth teller. You are. You are. Okay.
Hot trend.
Hot trend. Okay. This is like easy.
Finally not me.
Simple. Not going to be something that like it's such a basic, but
you know me, it's what I'm about now.
I love it. So I will give credit to my mom, Janice Levinson. Janice Beth Levinson Rush Lily.
Love it. Ooh, that's a mouthful. And I love all of those names. I love them all.
She loves them all.
You know what? I don't think I ever knew your mom's middle name was Beth.
Yes. Janice
That's a good one. And a very modern one for those times, I think. Like Beth. I love it.
The big story about my mom, by the way, just to give you a little Janice in our day, is that for my whole life, my mother was Janice, Janis. Janice.
Right.
That was her name.
Right.
All of a sudden, a couple of years ago, I saw her write something and she put Janice, and I was like, "Who's that? Like who?" Janice. So she changed the spelling of her name. So I was like, "Who is that? Like why are you doing that?" She's like, "Well, on my birth certificate, my name is Janice." I'm like, "Really?"
What?
Yes. And
That is shocking news. So she changed it to Janis?
Her mother did, and now she feels like she wants to change it back. So now my mom is 81.
Oh my God. When I say your mom's name out loud, in my brain, I see Janis. Like it's and I have to say, that's a little bit in tandem with our threesome here because I'm Julie spelled Julie. And for those who don't know, Julie Cola is Juli spelled totally differently. And it's like a crazy thing that we're both Julie, but it's spelled differently. So your mom always had this unique spelling. Cola has this unique spelling.
I know. Well, not anymore.
I can't believe she wants to go back, but I get it. Going back to origin
story. Her roots.
Origin stories. But anyway.
So
this product?
She suggested this product, and actually every single person in my entire family, all my children use it. We all use it. We love it. It is Vitabath. Simple. It's sour oil. Lavender shower. It's not expensive. It's right in Ulta. Like go right to Ulta, right in the front. And it is delicious. It is like you put it on, you do your soap, you wash your face, you do everything. And then you're getting ready to get out of the bath and you put this on all the areas that you want, like you're going to cream. But this, like you put it, so I put it on my arms, my legs. And
then you don't follow up with a cream after, right?
I don't always. It depends. If I'm really dry, sometimes when I'm in Colorado, I do because it's so dry
so
there.
dry there.
But
Yeah.
here it's a little humid and I don't have to. And then the last thing I've been doing recently, since I'm so dry on my face lately, is after I wash my face with my other oil-based
Yeah.
uh,
Your other Recco.
cleanser, I put this on now and it feels so good. It feels so good.
You know me, I would be so nervous to put that on my face.
I know. But listen, it oils me up a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
so dry. I don't think you're as dry as me.
I'm, I don't know. I mean, hard to quantify. I feel dry, but I don't feel like when I put my products on, they last. Like now it's like the end of the day. It's like, almost 7 o'clock, whatever. Like now I feel like as the day goes on, it's like I could lather up more moisturizer. Like my face has used it,
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me
Good
too.
product. All right, moving on. Love that
Hold
product.
on. Okay, so why don't you take us through what off the press?
Press. Let's walk through a lot of these. There's a couple little news stories this week, so that are new off the press. First of all, going back to Love is Blind. For those who are watchers, like we are fans, although this season was so meh. But anyway, Amber and Matt Barnett, who we all may remember, we were like, no way are they saying yes at the altar. Then when they said yes at the altar, we're like, no way are they going to last. Years and years later, they just had a baby girl. So they're still together, had a baby. Again, I'm just going to beat the drum of Love is Blind. They have the best success rate of all of these shows.
Isn't it amazing?
It's crazy. I mean, it's not like a hugely high percentage, but whatever it is, it's higher than all the Bachelors and everything else. So
yeah, it's
that's kind of
a high
amazing.
percentage for the amount of couples that it's like 6 couples and at least 1 or 2 per season get married.
I know. The next thing I want to kind of say that's been in the press this week is, poor Gia. Shoes falls to the daughters. I can't even say it how she pronounced my daughters. Gia, first of all, Gia with this podcast, it's like, I don't know, some crazy name with.
Gia should have found her own way in life. I don't know.
She did abandon law school, which, listen, I get it. Having gone to law school and, it is not for the faint of heart. If you don't want to be there, by all means, don't spend 3 years and all that money doing that. But
yeah.
So she started this podcast, and then, of course, like the week she launches her podcast, these news stories come out about Teresa and Louis and all the money owed and no prenup. And so Gia's like spending all this time on her podcast defending her mother, which is such a stupid look and a bad look for her. There's no defending it. There's no defending Louis. No defending her mother not having a prenup.
She went after Bethany Frankel. I was like, honey, save your.
I know, and she went after Bethany. Good luck with that.
I know. Like, Bethany responded. I was like,
no, it's like it's gotten really off the rails.
I know.
So that was in the press this week. The Russell Brand thing just broke. Like, I mean, what is with these people? Sexual assault and rape.
Terrible. But that's not surprising with Russell Brand.
I don't really know that much about him. I mean, he certainly hasn't been out and about, so clearly there's a big issue there. And then we have some like White Lotus related news, which might just be the perfect segue. So first of all, speaking of White Lotus characters, Sydney Sweeney, who was in season 2, was in fact spotted, broke off her engagement after all the no, we're not dating, it's not really chemistry, we're just playing characters, we're great friends, was spotted at Glenn Powell's sister's wedding. Sorry. If you're just friends, you're not going to Glenn Powell's sister's wedding. So that's my take there. And then it also came out in the news this week, White Lotus news, that Woody Harrelson was originally supposed to play Rick, not Walton Goggins, who we're all madly in love with now. And apparently all the actors in White Lotus get scale. That's the deal, and which is so worth it because look at how it blows up everybody's career. Yeah. And he actually kind of, maybe to his credit or not, whatever, he went back and asked for more money. And Mike White was like, sorry, it's everybody gets the same and there's no hierarchy here and this is what it is. And suddenly he had a scheduling conflict. He had a family vacation planned. And so they went with Walton Goggins, which was like the best. Yeah. I
can't even imagine it without him.
I know. I thought that was really interesting. Yeah. And then a lot of fallout this week, though, with his music producer, his music writer, which is really kind of sad. Yeah. They no longer, I don't think they're going to be working together anymore. And there was a big New York Times article about the fallout, and the music producer wanted something totally different, and they really did not have a meeting of the minds. I thought the music was great. Yeah, I had no idea what the person wanted instead, but I thought the music was excellent.
So did I, and actually perfectly done.
Yeah. So lots of little news stories there.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that one. I hadn't seen that.
So it's a kind of a perfect segue, I guess, for us to talk about
White Lotus finale.
finale last night. I felt like I was holding my breath for 90 minutes.
I
I
know, me too.
literally like had to remind myself to exhale.
Well, maybe 85 until the very end, and then I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for some.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I mean,
I thought it was really great, and then I thought it was so totally predictable.
but for everybody,
I thought I would have I was at a dinner before and we were all like taking guesses about who we think is going to get killed, and we were all like probably Chelsea, but like that's too obvious. We were all like that's just too obvious. So then we were like moving away from that, but then it was Chelsea.
yeah. But the way it was Chelsea, I would never have predicted. I mean, it's really at the hands of Walt and God, of Rick.
Yeah, that's true.
The title of the episode is Amor Fati, which means embrace your fate or
Yeah.
love of fate, embrace
Yeah.
your fate.
Yeah.
So, are these people fated to be who they are? Like who's able to change their fate and who's not?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And-
it kind of harkens back to like the original thing with the very first scene when you see the Ratliff kids on the boat and Piper's reading that book
Yeah.
by the monk, which is like the prison of identity. So it's all this like same
Yeah.
thing. Like, are you imprisoned by this identity that's been put on you, and what can you escape from, and what can't you? So I think like thematically it was good. I definitely didn't see as many deaths coming. Like I knew it was a shootout because we went back last week and replayed the beginning of episode 1. It's a lot, like I said on the pod last week, it's a lot of gunshots.
Lots of gunshots.
Like, I don't know that I saw it was going to be Rick and Chelsea and Mr. Hollinger and the bodyguards, and it's like a bloodbath.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I didn't really take in the bodyguards as much, but you're right.
Yeah. So I don't know that I saw that.
I don't know. It was a little bit of a letdown for some reason. Like it was such a build up. Okay, let's talk about like the friends, the 3 girlfriends.
Yeah. I thought, to me, I wasn't terribly surprised that they ended on like a good note. I felt like they would. I felt like they would come back to each other. I thought Carrie Coon's Lori's thing was beautiful. Like I actually thought it was absolutely beautiful.
I did too. And I actually love the idea of like time, because we know this, right? Like time is a bond, right? Like they have that. Even if like one is now going with her pretty face and the other one's going with her pretty life, even if that feels a little foreign to her or whatever she feels about it, the time is what draws them together, which I thought that was so pretty. Like
I thought that was so great too.
Yeah.
I thought that was great too. And it actually resonated for me. And that, we've been saying all along, they're not us, they're not us, they're not us. We're 3 best friends, but we're not them. But like that part of what she had to say, I think is true. Like, and she said, I think something like, we've been together from the beginning. It's like, we've been together from the beginning. Like exactly. We're of an age right now. It's like, I've known both of you since kindergarten. Like, how old are you? 5? Yeah. So, I thought that was really beautiful. And I thought the way she said it was beautiful. And it's like, friendships are a reflection of you, good and bad.
Right.
And it is a reflection of the choices you make, good and bad. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm happy I'm here. I'm happy I'm part of us. I'm happy I'm part of this 3. Yeah. And I'm grateful for it. I thought that was really nice. I thought that was really
love the way they were like cracking up together and hugging. And really sweet. I actually love that ending for them. It's like,
I loved it too. And I thought it was really well written. And considering that, he's not writing alone, but considering it was written by Mike White. And, I thought it was a really good way of looking at female friendships. I think if it had ended another way with like cattiness and snarkiness, I think that would have just been such also like such a stereotypical, like women can't really be happy for each other. It's like, yes, we can.
Yes. So. I loved it. I found that so warm-hearted.
Yeah. I thought that was like the high point of the ending.
Me too. Okay, the Radcliffes. The coconut.
Coconut milk is off. The coconut milk. Okay, this is where I felt like there were like some continuity issues I felt, and also like this is where I felt like, okay, this is not realistic. Like
Yeah.
First of all, they all took at least one sip of the drink.
Big sip of the drink.
I felt like Victoria was trying to like chug it down so as not to offend her husband. Like I'm choking down stuff when Todd cooks, and I'm like, it's delicious. I love it. You know, meanwhile I'm like throwing it to the dog on the table. But anyway, I felt like, so it's like, and also Lockie, I mean, granted he mixed it in the blender, but it's like he didn't have that much heat before he dropped it and it broke. Like I was like, so nobody had any symptoms. Nobody had like a stomach ache. Everybody just went to bed like, good night. And nobody rinses out the blender. It's like, what?
Right.
It was driving me crazy. That blender was like taunting me.
Even if you didn't rinse out the blender that night, you would never use the blender from the night before without rinsing out what was in the blender. Like,
yeah,
it's not good.
Yeah.
But he was a kid, so maybe he would have, and he thought there was alcohol in it, so maybe he would have. Who knows?
I don't know. I just thought that to me like kind of felt like, and then it's when you think Lachlan is dead. By the way, I guess we should have said hours ago. Spoilers for those for the one human being on Earth who hasn't watched it already. But I thought he was dead. I hate to say it. I mean, I was devastated. But honestly, I felt like that should have been the penance that Tim Ratliff should have been paying for the rest of his life.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
The fact that I mean, I guess it's good that like they still have this financial crisis hanging over them, but it also was kind of ambiguous. It's like they're looking at their phones on their boat. So like, is it they're looking at all the news stories like, oh shit, we're poor? Or is it?
I think so, right? Because I think like you're supposed to leave with like this isn't going to go well for them. You know, they're all going to have to learn how to be poor now.
Well, I listened to, it's really good for anybody who hasn't listened to it. I listened to the HBO companion podcast that they've been doing the whole season, and they had Mike White on.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
It's only like a half hour. It's really brief, but like they had Mike White on, and he was talking about how he wrote it with these two parallel storylines where Rick and Tim are like partners. Like they're running the parallel storyline, and Rick is like the evil, and you know, like he's destined for evil, he's destined for bad, he thinks nothing of himself, he doesn't think he's worthy, his whole life has been like, you know, trauma based. And then Tim has had like everything handed him on a silver platter, everything goes his way, rich father, rich grandfather, renowned in the community, renowned at the club, and like who changes their identity and who doesn't. So like Rick's ending is exactly true to who he thought he was. He could not change. The prison of identity. Like he can't change that identity. He started bad. He tried. He leaves Bangkok. He doesn't do the drugs. He's not with any of the hookers or, you know, women of the night. He tries to get Amrita's attention. He tries, but in the end, he's just destined to be what he is. And then Tim is born into all this like positivity, and then turns into this failure. Like he changes his identity in the duration of the show. So it's kind of like an interesting way to look at it, that he had deliberately written these two characters on this like same parallel path, and then they diverge at the end in terms of what happens.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. And then he also told this really funny story. He's like, there was so much that was cut. That was another news story too. It came out in the news that like every episode originally was like an hour and a half, and HBO was like, no. Like, we are not doing this. If you could do an hour and a half for the ending, but like we cannot have 12 hours of television. So like I was saying, he's like, there were a lot of really good, apparently there was a crazy dream sequence that they shot with Leslie Bibb, and he goes, and it was crazy. He goes, it was like such a huge production. It's on the beach. It's in it's like, it's crazy. He goes, we cut that whole thing. And apparently I thought this was unreal. So the whole thing is like Piper, like identity is like, I am what I am, basically. Like I like all the trappings. I like air conditioning. I like good food. I like my comfortable bed. I need money. I need all these things. And so then he's like, and then I had this whole thing written where she goes towards the carnal. Like she starts becoming what Saxon was at the beginning, because she's like, I'm going to lose my virginity and whatever. And apparently she lost her virginity. They filmed it to Zion.
Oh,
the last night of the
vacation.
I was like, and the people who were interviewing him were like, you should have definitely kept that in. He's like, I know, it's really hard.
That is a good storyline.
I know. Isn't that a good storyline? He's like, when we watched it, we were trying to figure out how to keep it in, and it felt like very rom-commy. Like all of a sudden, these two are like into each other. You know, he's like, but it was like kind of like he goes, so we shot like this whole sex scene with these actors, and we don't even use it.
They have like the intimacy coordinator there.
Totally. So anyway, yeah, the rat lips. That's where I kind of felt like I was like, ugh, all right. And
Yeah,
then of course Lachlan wakes up, and then they're all just on the fucking boat. Like, okay.
they're on the boat. They're going home.
Like Lachlan doesn't have to go to a hospital. He's poisoned.
By the way, how about the conversation where he says to his brother, to Saxton, "I'm a pleaser."
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a little bit more than just being a pleaser. That's a
But
little
Saxon's like,
psychotic.
I don't want you to. What was the line that he said? It was so funny. It was like, I want you to respect me, like, but I don't want you to respect me. Like, it's like, you know, like totally. But it's
Oh my
true
God.
though for Lachlan. It's like he's trying to give these two siblings what they want. It's like he thinks
Yeah,
he wants this life of like a monk and no trappings of wealth and
yeah,
this pure high, you know, elevated spirit. So he's like, yes, I'll do this with you. And then
right.
he thinks like Saxon is all about getting off and like
Yeah, yeah. He's
he's
like,
like,
that's
oh,
what
I'll
you
give
gotta
this to
do.
you. You know, like
You look lonely. I was like, that's
yeah,
bizarre. That's really bizarre thinking. He needs a little therapy.
a lot of therapy. Yes. Oh my God.
That
Don't they
was
all?
always
And
feels
also,
by his father.
Todd too at the end was like, okay, by the way, how did they get out of that hotel? Like, how'd they pay the bill? Like, like all of their assets are frozen. So like, how the hell did they pay that bill? Like,
Maybe it's a prepay. You have to pay up front.
maybe I guess. So there just felt like there were some things like if you really want to
That
be
wasn't totally wrapped up. That wasn't
yeah,
totally wrapped up.
yeah.
By the way, the other thing that I saw today that wasn't wrapped up was when Jacqueline and what was the wife's name again?
Victoria.
Victoria, they met in
Oh,
Austin.
yeah.
They were at like a party together in Austin or a weekend. And she, like, what was
Baby shower.
Oh, a baby shower. That's right. What was that about? Like, that was never wrapped up. Why do that?
I think he actually didn't talk about that, didn't come up at all in the podcast with Mike White, but I think my 2 cents on that is I think it was just painting a picture of who Victoria was and that she, you know, because she spent this whole like series looking inward and wanting to be this insular family and nobody's good enough for them and everybody on the boat sucks and all these couples suck and it's like, you know, you're wealthy and you're beautiful and people are going to want your money and they're going to want your wealth and they're going to, you know, so I just think it's like it was that, you know what I mean? But, that's what I think. I don't know. Yeah, I mean that was kind of hanging out there.
I mean, it was like there's no reason.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to who haven't we talked about yet? We haven't
Rick.
Chelsea and Rick. We kind of talked about that. Frank. I mean, Frank, that was kind of that was the saddest part is that he was doing so well and then all like
What
I mean
was he? I mean, he's just like also he too, like the prison of identity. He's on this loop. He like can't get out of it. He keeps
Right.
fucking up, and then he goes back and he repents for it. And he's like, he's at the temple and he's doing yoga and he's doing the prayers, and it's like, you just know he's not going to be able to sustain it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He's a great character though, really well played. I thought that was
Great
an interesting
character.
character to bring in. I don't love the Belinda and Zion ending.
I loved it.
I didn't love it.
I
think, and now everybody's like, oh, she's gonna be the thread, like she's gonna come back, or you're gonna like. They think like she'll be back, and they think Greg Gary will be back. I don't know. I didn't. I mean, I do it. Listen, do I think it's really interesting that like she becomes Tanya, and she pulls a Tanya on Porn Chai and all of that? Yes. I just didn't buy that she. Although I guess it's like who keeps their identity, who changes it. Like
yeah.
he was this really moralistic, like very clear about right and wrong. And I just don't believe that she'll be able to live just because she's rich now, that it's suddenly going to take away all the stress and the guilt of what she did.
Well, you know, the one person who did not change her identity is Chelsea all the way through. She was totally straight.
All the way through. All the way through. Totally a consistent character.
And you know what? She could have changed it because there were temptations along the way.
Yeah.
And she stuck true to herself.
She did.
And she's the character who died. I mean, everybody else kind of shifted in one way. Well, not everybody.
No.
With Mom.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Victoria was true to herself. I think Tim changes. I
Yeah.
think Rick tried to change, can't change. He's stuck
Yeah.
in that prison. I think Saxon changed a lot.
That's true.
I think Saxon, I really do think Saxon is like a Buddha, an allegory. I really do. I think he
Yeah.
comes into the show one way and he leaves completely enlightened in a different way. I
Yep.
really do. And I
Yep.
think he'll probably be okay,
Yep.
of everybody.
Yep.
Maybe he, you know. So yeah. And what about the guy talk story?
Eh, For me, that I mean, I didn't love that. I didn't love that.
He also he and Belinda, I think, are that's the other thing that Mike White says, like they are also parallel arcs. It's like they have to completely forego everything that they stand for and everything that they believe in to get the benefit. Like in
Yeah.
Belinda's case, it's the money and wealth and the peace of mind and the comfort of wealth. And for Guy Talk, it's like to get the job. Like the other security guards die, he gets the job, he gets the girl.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and
Yeah.
but yet he's completely sacrificed his beliefs. Like he's the only character overtly Buddhist. Like he's praying to Buddha every day. He's giving sacrifices. You see him doing the prayers. It's like, I don't know. I just didn't think it rang true. And I also felt like the Mook character was so like, it became very like, I don't know, cartoonish in a way. It was like, well, if you're not going to kill somebody, lose my number. I'm like, really? You guys have known each other since you're kids. Like, that's the backstory. Like, you're.
It was too one-dimensional. It was too
Yeah.
one-dimensional. I do think that wasn't built out enough. That her character was too one-dimensional,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I think so too. I think her character was really, really, I don't know. And I don't think it's her as an actress. I think she's probably terrific.
Yeah.
It just was like too harsh. I don't know. I can't explain it. I think there might have been a better way.
There's more nuance in that, and they didn't show that nuance.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not more nuance. Maybe the thing is like she just wanted a guy who was super successful and rich, and if he wanted her, that's who he had to be.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe.
Super straightforward.
But he also, and I guess maybe this speaks to the acting. Maybe it does speak to the writing. Like I did find myself sort of saying like, okay, if you think about these people going on after the show, like what happens? It's like, are Belinda and Guy Talk really going to be able to live with themselves? Like really?
Right. Yeah.
Because they were the moral compass of the show.
She's really rich now, so he's gonna have a harder time. I think he's younger, and he was much more religious, and like I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Do you think that either one of them will show up in another, or anybody that's remaining? Do you think any of them will show up?
Maybe Belinda. Maybe she's the through line now.
Yeah, maybe. The other thing that they were saying was like to Mike on the podcast, they were like, well, can you give us any hints about where the next one will take place? And he was like, well, I really can't say too much. Obviously, he's like, I know there's like a lot of chatter out there. Everybody wants me to do like a cold location. They think it should be the cold. Now he's like, personally, I hate the cold. He's like, so I don't know about these. Like, I'm not saying anything about that. Yes or no. But then he was like, I feel like I want to be talking about this idea of celebrity. Like he's like it's a world I really know, and I liked that part of like the Jacqueline, Lori, Kate friendship. I love that piece of Jacqueline.
Yes.
He's like, I don't know, maybe it's gonna be like at a film festival, or it'll be in a town where there's like, he's like, there's something about that's like nagging at me that I feel like it's got to be like a different setting maybe.
Yeah,
but
that would be fun.
More like about that. So
That'd be fun. I mean, I enjoy them. We can.
I enjoy them. I'm sad it's over. Whether I think it ended the way I thought it should or shouldn't, it was appointment television, which has been so long since we've had that.
Yeah.
No, it's like every Sunday, everybody's watching it. Everybody's talking about it at work the next day. Everybody's commenting online, and it's really fucking well done, and it's really well acted.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I'm sad it's over. It's over.
Me too. All right, let's
move on to our influences for the White Lotus characters. Since we know Mike White loves reality television also.
Do you want to go into Real Housewives, or do you want to talk about Survivor?
Let's talk Survivor. There's not much there yet, but we're getting there.
It's the Cedric show right now.
Is it?
Cedric.
Is it?
Cedric with those challenges.
I mean, is it? If I have to watch one more challenge, as soon as they come onto the beach now with the challenges, my heart sinks. I'm not even kidding. As soon as I saw that curved
Sit him out. Cedric, sit out.
As soon as I saw that curveball, I literally was like, oh God, Cedric's never getting up that wall. Never. And they all had to climb down and they still couldn't get him over it.
Pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling, and he's slipping down. I'm like, I could do better than Cedric in that challenge.
I honestly think I could. I know Cole was texting us and was like, I would not be able to do one challenge on Survivor. I was like, I think you could do better than Cedric. I really do.
I do.
Like,
okay, first of all, I was totally ragging on him during the challenge, and then when he died, I was like, he's fabulous. Who's better than Cedric? Who's better than Cedric?
When those big fat tears were rolling down sweet, sweet Cedric's cheeks.
I was like, who is better than this man? He is pure gold. He is pure gold.
I'm like, Cedric, you are an ER doctor. You know your worth. You are here on this island, and we see you. I mean, I gotta tell you, I was like,
oh, Cedric, he's just, I love him.
I have to tell you, Star is also breaking my heart with goodness. Star last week with her response to Eva, and Eva
giving her the idol.
Autism. I mean, Star is like,
I love Star.
Perhaps to use White Lotus terms, is she the most enlightened person on the beach in Survivor? I think she is.
I love these. There are good people, and may a good person win this time.
There are honestly really good people on this cast. Like the good meter, like is so fantastic. I can't get over it. Like Joe, like who are these people? Like it feels like they were actually casted. Like
I know they were like, what are the good deeds you've done in your life?
Honestly, yeah. So I mean, here's the good news. We're going to start to be able to cover it. Maybe we'll have a guest on in the future who just absolutely loves to talk all things Survivor and strategy because now the teams are merged.
Yeah.
We're whittling down. We know who the players are. So, you know,
yep.
Good spot.
Okay.
That really is the only thing to talk about.
That's it. Okay, let's move to
other hot topic.
Summer House?
Summer House / Southern Charm.
Yeah.
I mean.
With excitement. Well, okay, let's just talk quickly about, because I know that
I guess
what's her name? The girlfriend. Lexi. We've heard she's very jealous, but like she kind of has good reason to be jealous. Not gonna lie.
I'm just gonna say I'm doing a 180. I'm putting myself right back in that hot seat. I think I badmouthed Lexi maybe 2 weeks in a row.
And she was really right.
And I'm here to say, Lexi, I see you, girl. You are 1,000,000% right. I mean, she's got a point, and boy, did she like it.
Yes. And by the way, worse than this toe sucking is the Sierra stuff. I mean,
horrible.
Basically, like, I would be with you. I would be with you. And then he was like, I mean, who wouldn't be with Sierra? She's gorgeous. I'm like, well, you just committed yourself to Lexi.
And it makes it look, listen, the worst part about it all is we all know what Jesse Solomon would do. I mean, he fucking did it. Like, he said, like, oh, yeah, we'll be exclusive because he wanted to sleep with her. It's so transactional. It's so transparent.
I know.
Such a guy dick move. I hate to say it. To, like, say what you wanted to hear because, quite frankly, no, I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying he wasn't attracted to her. I'm not saying there wasn't like an infatuation there. I'm not saying that on day one he didn't walk into that house and be like, you're adorable. This is going to be great. I think all of those things.
Yeah.
But it also was like such a heartfelt, like transactional thing. Like, yeah, I'll tell you what you want to hear, but really I'm flirting with this one and I'm walking in on that threesome and he made her, like on television, he made her look like an idiot.
He did. By the way, guess who made a cameo appearance?
Oh, yeah. Well, Bailey, good old Bailey spelled Bailee. Speaking of weird name spelling,
Bailey made a cameo.
She had to, because guess what? The producers probably wanted to kill themselves that they had to add her back in because they were like, uh-oh. Bailey is the linchpin for the toe sucking rumor. You know, like they couldn't get it from anybody else. Bailey is the one that's
and then they had to like get like a testimonial. They're like, wait, no, I think I saw this on a interview where Lindsay was like, well, you don't lie to production.
Yeah.
Like rule number
Oh yeah,
one.
Lindsay Hubbard. Yeah, she was like, well, she goes, I really can't get into the details. Well, let's just say
Right.
you don't lie to production and say, maybe someone shouldn't lie to production and say they don't have a boyfriend when they do have a boyfriend. It was like, obviously,
Hypothetically.
yeah, it's so obviously about Bailey, but like honestly, I think the producers and editors must have been like, damn, we have to bring Bailey back because she is on this giant game of telephone role playing. She is the one that heard the thing about the toe suck, so she's back.
She's back.
I have to say also, like, is it me? I loved that they're on a kickball team together, and they had a kickball team last year. Like,
Yeah. But Sierra's like, what did I do wrong that I have to be in New Jersey playing kickball? She's like, what? What am I paying for? What's the plus?
I loved it though. I thought the kickball game was really cute, and I thought it was great. And I love kickball. I think that's fun. I thought that was like fun, little young.
We did that when we were younger. There were
I
no
like
kickball games.
I like that it seems like they hang out when they're not at Summer House. It seems like.
It does.
Maybe I'm a sucker.
For the
But I mean, yeah. Well, okay.
Okay. We're a little bit short on time.
Oh, what's next? Southern Charm was reunion part 1. I don't get it. Whatever.
I mean, if we're gonna say anything about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I would just say one thing, which is, I see you, Garcelle.
Yes.
And so I will say the one I blame the most is her best friend Sutton.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. They all came for her. Now listen, do I think that Garcelle should have done a better job defending herself and on the couch? And like, I was disappointed with how Garcelle handled it. She's so articulate and so poised and very seemingly, although clearly she's feeling it on the inside, seemingly unruffled. And I just felt like she had things that she could have said back to Erica. She had things that she could have said back to Boz.
I think she's over it. I think she's over it.
Yeah, I guess.
When your best friend turns on you, your best friend kind of turns on you and is like not having your back, I think it feels different.
Yeah, I guess so. I think there was something we missed between like the end of shooting. It felt, this is what I want to say. I wasn't being articulate. It felt to me, I agree with you in terms of she came, it felt like Garcelle came to the reunion resigned. Like kind of like, my energy, you guys aren't even worth my energy. Okay. That's what it felt like to me. So it felt therefore that there was something between the end of shooting and the few weeks till the reunion aired.
Yeah.
Because she is normally, not that she's like a tiger, but she is super articulate and able to defend herself. And she just kind of kept rolling over. It was like, well, I'm sorry you think that. Well, I'm sorry. And it was like, no, Garcelle, like you have things to say too. And she just didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then Sutton came to her dressing room after. It's like, it's a little too late. Like,
and also
on the couch.
She was like arguing with her. So Garcelle was like, and Sutton's like, well, you know, she is kind of rich. Well, she does have a nice house. I'm like, shut up, Sutton.
Yeah.
Don't fact check me.
Yeah. Yeah. It just was like nobody has her back. So it's kind of like, why am I fighting for these people?
Yeah.
But it's just, again, I mean, we said it last week. It's like, it's such a loss. And Kyle is so full of shit. And Kyle is so, that's the thing. If you cut Garcelle out of the picture,
yeah,
what are we left with? We're left with Kyle who's having off-camera conversations saying, please don't talk about Morgan because, but we don't ever learn the because.
Yeah.
You know, we're left with Sutton saying to somebody, that's a chess move, she's playing you, but then nobody says it on camera. Erica has no fucking story. So Erica, shut up. Your story is now you're being sued again. That's your story. Lucky you. You know what I mean? Really.
That's a big story.
I mean, I guess Bo's story is like this relationship with this man, which seems to be promising. And is she going to be able to have a child or how that's going to go? And there's a lot that's interesting there. Don't get me wrong. But like, where are we then with this show? If we don't, you know what I mean? It's like she's the only one demanding that people are honest.
I know. I love her as a character. I think it's such a loss. But
I mean, I guess Dorit does. Well, Dorit, I guess, was more honest this season. Boy, oh boy. And she did, you know, I mean, the whole thing with PK, it's like, Andy was like a dog with a bone. I was like, okay, let's move on. He was like, well, is he drinking again? She's like, she was saying everything and nothing with her eyes. She was like, I've been asked not to speak about that on camera. And he's like, so you're saying he's drinking again?
It's like, I don't know.
I mean, you know, whatever. I can't stand PK, never could. I think his statement is that he sent in such baloney. But like, she has thrown this man under the bus every which way.
They're like, he's a good dad, though, right? She's like,
I know. Kathy Hilton's like, but at least PJ's a good dad. It's like, Kathy, learn people's names. I beg of you. Please.
Kathy.
Learn.
Wake up, Kathy.
names.
Wake up.
Anyway, yeah. So we'll see what are we, part 2 this week?
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Okay. You are going to bring us home with a closing hot take.
I have a closing one. Cola will be so bummed that she's missing it because she's always got the stories. I got to tell you, I was cut to my quick by my manicurist this weekend. So I took myself for a manicure. I go to the same place every week or 2, whatever. Try to go to my same gal, who I love, who, by the way, I would have thought, we are friends. There's a nice relationship there. And I'm sitting in the nail salon, and this mom walks in with 2 daughters who are maybe 8 and 10, 10 and 12, whatever. And this salon I've literally been going to for over a decade. And of course, when my kids were little, we went there, whatever. So I was saying to my manicurist, oh my God, that cracks me up. It's it reminds me of when I used to come with Jane and Kate. She knows Jane and Kate. I'm like, Jane and Kate. And she's like, yes, it's so since the day we opened. I'm like, I know they're they're probably the same age, 8 and 10, whatever. You guys have been around over 10 years. She's like, I know. I'm like, crazy. She's like, how old are they now? I'm like, well, I was like, Kate's turning 21. Kate's turning 22. I'm like, and Jane's gonna be turning 24. And then I go, and she's painting away. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe they're so old. And I'm like, and I'm 56. And she goes, is that all? Clear as a bell. I was like, come again? Did you mean to say I don't believe it? You don't look a day over 48? I'm like, now granted, I'm not decked out to go to the nail salon, but I had a swipe of lip gloss on, a cute little weekend outfit on, and the glasses on, my hair was come on. She was like, I'm like, yeah, I'm turning 22 and 24. Can you believe it? I'm like, and I'm 56. And she's like, without missing a beat, is that it? I'm like, what were you hoping for? 60?
What do I look like? What are you saying?
Perfect, youthful glow skin. I'm like, wow, that word.
What did you say?
I was dumbfounded, literally dumbfounded. I think I might have muttered to myself, oh.
Oh my God.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, what do you do when your manicurist really sticks it to you good?
Having a bad day, huh?
Have a lovely day. I'm like, happy Sunday, everyone. I'm going home.
From the old lady.
You know what? I always get my hand slapped. Every time I offer up my age, thinking it's a badge of honor, I always get my hand slapped somehow. I got to cut that out of my whole discourse.
You really should. Why would you ever tell anybody what you are?
And I do it a lot. It happened to me on our vacation. I do it a lot. I leave people either stunned in silence. Or you know what I mean? They don't know what to say because there's nothing nice to say.
They're like, wow, okay.
I flag it around like a badge. I'm like, 56. They're like, uh-huh. Not my manicurist. Is that it? I'm like, is that it? What?
You were thinking 70? Like what?
It was a shocker. Killed my whole day. I literally practically got into bed. But anyway.
Wow.
Onward, we persevere.
Very humbling.
Very humbling.
We end on a very humbling note.
We always do. I mean, what can I say? Always do. Cola, we miss you. I have to say, we will see. I mean, we're definitely going to have another episode. Whether it's going to be next week, I think we're going to see because we're wrapping up some shows, but we might be a little in between, and Cola will be away. So we'll see. We might surprise everybody. We might not.
I mean, I know you guys are all setting your calendars, and you're going to listen to us the second we drop.
All of our followers can't wait for that episode.
You guys, you hotties, you're so loyal. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, this was fun. I love you.
I love you.
Bye, hotties.
Bye.